I would say a thing that's helped me a lot recently would be,
how much do you value that end game versus your current situation, and what are you willing to sacrifice? If you're not physically well, it's harder to be mentally well.
when I take my shirt off and I look in the mirror when I wake up, I actually like what I see. I don't think people realize how difficult it is to operate a business. I have a quote that I really like. It's 1% better every day. Obviously, well, that's not mine. The one that I can't say I made it up, but I like the saying that consistency is better than failure.
Welcome to the Start Yesterday podcast, Halloween edition. Here we are, two extraterrestrial. I can't take him seriously. He's a fucking bush. He's a literal human shirt. Okay, so first of all, if you're not watching on video, we're both dressed in costumes. So if the audio sounds like crap, just give it like 30 seconds. We'll take it off. I just wanted to start the intro with that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, extraterrestrial creatures, and everything else in between, welcome to the Start Yesterday podcast. I am your host, Adam, aka Puffy, aka Puffy Gal Puffy, and today I have on a very special guest, a long dear friend of mine, way back into the elements of life, into elementary school, Kfir, it's Gal?
Gal.
I was so close. So yeah, now we're gonna go into the intro of him, and we're gonna take off our mask, or at least because I literally can't wear my glasses in these things.
Yeah.
I'm revealing my identity.
Yeah, you gotta come off.
Oh. Okay, sorry for the ASMR, but yeah, we just, no. Oh, I can actually hear myself. Well, we're like two different people. We just revealed our secret identity. He's not actually a bush. Bro, that was so funny if you took the helmet off and you just had
a bush.
You had another bush underneath. Okay, so typically to start all the podcasts, I ask people, like, do you have a sob story? Or like break down. I don't know, man. Like, just what's your shtick? What's your thing?
My shtick? I don't know if I have a shtick. I mean, I'm kind of just me. No one's really asked me that before.
Okay, so like if you were in an elevator full of like, I don't know, like a bunch of Dragon Den.
Yeah.
Like, what's your pitch?
My pitch?
Yeah, what's your like a synopsis? Like if someone were to read a Block Story movie, you remember Blockbuster, right?
Yeah.
And you go to the back of the box, and then there's like a synopsis. It's like a paragraph. It's gonna hook you into renting the video. Like, what's your synopsis?
Oh, fuck, man. I don't even know. I don't even know if I'd pitch dragons in an elevator, to be honest. But I mean, yeah, I don't know my pitch. I'm not. My pitch. Who am I? I don't know. I'm just me. I mean, if you've known me growing up, I'm pretty eccentric sometimes. You know, kind of just do my own thing, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't, and then yeah, that's about it. Nothing too much about it.
All right, that's very vague. Okay, vague. I guess let's start way back in the day. How did we meet?
We met at Rosedale.
Did you go to Rosedale?
I went to Rosedale for a year.
Okay.
We moved houses, and then I had to leave, but they didn't know I wasn't zoned for the school.
Interesting.
Until I told this teacher that I thought it was cool, and then she ratted me out to the...
Oh, you want to give the teacher a shout out?
I don't even remember her name. Miss Singer, maybe?
Oh, I didn't like really any of them, but
yeah.
The one thing that I remember about you is I think we went to like suspension school, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got suspended together one time.
Was it? Because
we got in a fight or something
maybe,
like that. There's something happening that we got.
It was like a school that you get sent to if you got suspended for more than like 3 days, right? And then I was there for like 6 months because Rosedale wanted like nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
And I remember you there because I don't remember much in Rosedale other than like I don't remember much, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I mean you've changed. I've changed. How?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
I don't know. Like what's changed? What's been different about like since when you were younger to now?
Man, just so much has changed. I mean, if I was still getting suspended to this day, I'd probably be in jail.
Yeah, that's valid.
You know, suspension when you're older is jail time. But what's changed? A lot has changed. I think we're all kind of. I mean, I just turned 25, right? So we're kind of we're starting to form into our adult selves and kind of we're starting to pave our own paths and kind of figuring this whole life out. And I think that's the age we're at. You know, some people are more along in that journey than others, but we're kind of all there right now and trying to figure out who we're going to be heading into our 30s. And
man, that's valid.
So
that's a bar.
It's a bar.
That's a bar. Like I think
total
a quarter life crisis. Like, it's not really a crisis, but like I feel like some people, like, they still don't have their shit figured out. And if you're 25 watching this, then that's okay.
That's okay.
Right? You don't need to have. I mean, you should have some
Idea.
trajectory, some idea of like the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's never going to be perfect.
No, even if your trajectory is I need to figure it out, that's still a path, because everyone's gone through the journey of what the fuck am I doing with my life. So if that's where your path you're on, that's okay too, as long as you're aware of it and you're doing what you can, right?
Namaste. So do you have any tips for that? Because like, I mean, for me, like, obviously I just did a 180, right?
Yeah,
I think maybe you did like a
100%.
90 degree.
Like, honestly, I've had so many fucking left turns in the last 5 years. It's been ridiculous. But I think ultimately you got two chips on your shoulder. The first one is, what am I going to do? The second one is, time's moving way quicker than I thought. How do I figure it out as soon as possible? So I would say a good tip is like literally write down all the things I need to change. And from there, like, you know, the saying, once you write a problem down, you've already solved half of it. And then just go go line by line. And that's more or less what I did. Mm-hmm. And that was it.
I would say a thing that's helped me a lot recently would be like journaling. And like, it's two parts to that, like journaling and then also gratitude. So the journaling, for anybody watching this, journaling, it's not this monumental, overwhelming task, and it really shouldn't be. It's literally like, just pick up a pen and paper and write down your fucking thoughts. Yeah. Right? And like, I'm not afraid to admit, like, I have some fucked up thoughts, right? But that doesn't mean I'm going to act on it. I even asked like a therapist that, and he was like, no, it's normal. It's just like, the fact that like I'm writing about it doesn't mean like I'm actually going to do it. Right? And that helps take a lot of stress, anxiety, the feeling of like overwhelmingness. And I normally journal at night. So then actually I found like a huge thing that helped me. It's like helped me sleep a lot. Mm-hmm. Right. And then the second part with that would be gratitude, because I feel like a lot of people, it's a whole other story with social media, but a lot of people nowadays, like, they're super depressed. I know a lot of friends, you probably know a lot of friends that like they're struggling up and down. Like, there's good days, there's bad days, there's whatever. But I feel like society as a whole, or especially like our age group, like the 18 to like 30-year-olds right now, like 1 week they're depressed, the 1 week they're not. And it's like, there's so much shit, and a lot of it has to do with social media. But the point is with the gratitude, and I know this sounds like some cliche bullshit Dr. Phil advice, but it's helped me. And if it could help me, who's been prescribed antidepressants, it'll probably help you. Mm-hmm. Like, just write down shit that you're grateful for. Now, it could literally be the fact that you're living in North America and like you have Wi-Fi, right? It could be some basic shit. Yeah. But fundamentally, when people boil it down, I feel like they lose sight on a lot of what they actually should be grateful for. Like they're focusing on like the very minute present. And not thinking like long-term, big picture, or even short picture. Like, they have people that care about them. They have like a dog, they got a house. Yeah. Shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, gratitude is something that's like, it can actually be a really overwhelming emotion. I don't know if it is, gratitude is an emotion, but maybe it is.
But it leads to like other emotions, I think.
I think so too. I mean, I think everyone has, like, at least for me, I've had like an overwhelming sense of gratitude to the point where I almost felt like I don't deserve some of the things that are coming to me, but I mean, any emotion that's overwhelming, and that could be joy, that can be, fear, whatever it is, you really want to balance yourself with those emotions, because you don't want to have any heightened emotions, to be honest. But gratitude definitely was a big theme in the past year, at least.
Do you do anything else, like meditation or yoga?
Well,
ayahuasca.
My mom did ayahuasca.
Really?
That's
for the Puff After Dark version.
You should get her on here. But no. Sorry, what was your question?
Like, other than like, I guess basically the gratitude, the journaling. Do you do anything else?
Well, I actually never really got into journaling. I tried, but I've never been good at. Like, I can never just sit down and like read or write. Like, that's never been my thing. I'm more of a creative person, so my outlets are more creative. But I've done meditations, I've done breath work. I've gone on actually, a handful of retreats focused on, breath work and kind of accessing yourself through breath. And I've done that with some of my buddies. Mikey Spivak was really big into it. And he was really big into it before he got into culture, and it was really cool because we kind of he kind of brought me onto it, but we did a lot of breath work together, and I went on these retreats, and they're really powerful stuff. Like there are a lot of inner child stuff, kind of getting over the things you don't want, you don't like about yourself, which is like, on the road to like, I guess, enlightenment, you have to go through all the shit first, right? So
Did you do any like Winhoff?
I know, no, it's hard enough to fucking sit in a cold plunge, but I think I have a record. I sat in a cold plunge for 17 minutes.
17 minutes?
Yeah, and it was actually an outdoor cold plunge in the dead of winter. So
holy shit! And like all your body parts still worked after that?
Oh man, I was freezing and I was freezing for like an hour and a half afterward. My body was cold.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking 17 minutes.
But it was a mental thing. I needed it for myself. It was for my psyche. I was like, I need to push myself.
But like 17 minutes, that's like, can you not go into like hypothermia?
Yeah, depending on who, but what got me through it? And this was like 2 years ago, so Rufus was huge. It still is, but I was singing to myself. I said, like, each Rufus song is like
Rufus the Soul.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna like the DJ. Okay.
So I sang like 2 Rufus the Soul songs out loud in my head, like for like literally 17 minutes straight. I'm just singing Rufus the Soul music.
I would have been like David Goggins, who's gonna carry the bows. I'm gonna carry the fucking bows.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I was just vibing.
I mean, that's valid actually. Okay, so then you like just zone out, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta when you're doing shit like that, but yeah.
So I guess where are you at? I mean, this is technically a health and wellness podcast.
Yeah.
But I guess for you, like, do you have anything, or like, what are you doing in terms of that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like since I was a kid, I kind of struggled with my weight. People have different vices, and I think growing up, one of my vices, especially dealing with stress, was eating or overeating or binge eating or whatever it is. So I've always kind of battled with that. In the last like 2 years, just starting my business, relationships, etc., that put a lot of stress onto me, and it made me put on a lot of weight. So I kind of like isolated myself a little bit, but since then, I've lost a ton of weight, and I'm back to like being my normal self. But yeah, for me, definitely, weight has been a challenge throughout the years, but yeah, I mean, my journey is just being, really as fit as possible, and I play sport. I play basketball 3 times a week to this day.
Oh, solid.
Yeah, I lift. So like overall, I'm very athletic, very healthy. So I'm like happy with that. But you could always be doing more.
Yeah, I mean, like that's a good question though. Or like, I guess for you, a lot of people will make the excuse, I don't have time, or I'm too busy.
Just not motivated.
Yeah. So, I mean, for you, like, you run a business, so do I. I mean, granted, my business is literally health and wellness, so it's like,
yeah,
you can't be a fat trainer. It doesn't really work. But also, I enjoy working out. But like for you, like, how do you balance this shit?
How do I balance this shit? Well, look, it really comes into performance, right? If you're not physically well, it's harder to be mentally well. And if you're not mentally well, how are you going to show up for your business the way you need to as the CEO?
Yeah.
And you're the captain, right? You're steering the ship.
I am the captain now.
Yeah, I'm the captain.
I am the captain.
And if you're not like mentally well, like how can you expect yourself? And it's not even, is the business going to go belly under? Like if you're not fit, it's how do I maximize efficiency and performance in my business?
Yeah.
And the first thing is you got to look at the person running the business, which is the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And if you look at investors, the first thing they look at is, I mean, at least a smart investor would be look at the management, look at who's running the company, where their vision's at. So yeah.
Well, I feel like it's a reason to ask you, or the reason to ask is because a lot of people I talk to, they're like, I don't have time, right? And it's just like, bro, just make the time. Right?
I love that we're fucking costume. Like I forgot I'm in a ghillie suit for a second.
Well, no, I mean, like, it's a Halloween edition, motherfuckers, but like
spooky season.
Spooky season. I gotta take this jacket off. Actually, I'm like actually starting to sweat. But basically, like, so, what advice would you give to people that like? I mean, granted, it's more business oriented, but it still goes with the health and wellness. Like, what advice would you give to people that are like, oh, I don't have time, or I'm not motivated? Because like, you have a genuinely good excuse. You work probably 60, 70 hours a week. You have your own business, right? You're fucking busy, but yet you still manage to have time. So what like advice would you give to them?
I think like in anything in life, you're kind of, the costume looks so much better. Like when you take it off, you see there's like levels to the shit.
We're stripping down now.
We're stripping down.
This is the OnlyFans edition. And for every question I ask you, we're gonna reveal like a layer.
You're gonna start stripping?
Yeah.
sorry, repeat your question.
Basically, what motivation would you, or how would you tell someone to like, or how would you motivate someone who's saying like, I don't have time, like, or they procrastinate, they push the shit off? Because like you or me, we both work a fuck ton, we both run businesses, and yet we still manage to, like, I'll go with a buddy to jujitsu, or you'll do the basketball, or, you know, you'll work out, like, but like we could easily be 50 pounds overweight just because we have too much shit to do and we're too busy, right? So how do you manage to do it, or what advice would you give people?
Yeah, look, I think it really comes down to, at the end of the day, you have to have expectations for yourself, whether that's financial expectations, whether that's mental expectations, whether that's physical expectations. And everyone has a kind of an end game of where they see themselves at their full potential. And I think the question comes down to is how much do you value that end game versus your current situation, and what are you willing to sacrifice? Because every day or every week or whatever that you're not chasing whatever it is you expect of yourself, you're essentially just prolonging you reaching your full potential. And it goes way beyond money or looking good. It really is about, you know, what kind of life do you want for yourself? You know, you want a life where you have good energy, you're happy, you're financially well off. So it's like you really want to just set these expectations for yourself, and setting, planning ahead, like setting goals are so important. Like, oh my God.
I mean, that's a valid point. I think, I think every client that I take on, I give them a, what do you call it? Not an activity or homework, whatever. I give them something to do that's really important. And what I've learned over the years is it's a lot to do with mindset. Yeah. And when you're not set up properly with your mindset, you're just ultimately going to set yourself up for failure. So I could give you the best workout plan and the meal plan, all this shit. But if you're not brought into the process, if you're not believing that it's going to work, or you don't think you can do it, it's not going to work. So I get them to sit down and make a commitment to themselves. And the commitment is just like, whatever their name is, I'm committed to doing X, Y, and Z over the next 6 or over the next 12 months. And then print it, stick it on the fridge. Yeah. And then I get them to sit down, and I'm like, you're going to block off like 3 hours on your calendar this week, and you're going to talk about, or you're going to make a vision board, basically. Yeah. You're going to make a vision board. You're going to set unquestionable standards with yourself. You're going to do some affirmations. The affirmations has, but what's the most important thing is the vision board. And the one thing that I got from my business coach was this really cool activity, but it's so poignant because it's like you saying, like with setting goals and setting like an ideal future or perfect, would be like to make your own story. Yeah. And it's like you sit down and you write like your own Wikipedia article or your own Wikipedia page, but you talk about yourself in the past, present, and also the future as if it already happened. Yeah. Right. And then by doing that, you're able to like kind of, you're able to like you said, half the battle is just writing it down, and you can fucking figure it out. You can see, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 this. And like, it doesn't have to necessarily be the most realistic outcome. I think I put down like on my story, I was going to sell my company for like $100 million and then run for the PPC and then take over Canada as like the PPC. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But you never know. Yeah. You never know. Right. Shoot for the stars, land on the moon. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I think also to that, it's like you want to be a little unrealistic with your dreams. You want to be realistic with your goals, and just that, like you never know where things can take you. And it's also weird because it's like, even once you reach a goal, let's say, the goal after that changes. You're not done being motivated. Now that like success is a moving target. You know? I feel like it's dependent on most people or what their goals are. For the most part, I would agree with that. But like for me, I find like I had a Cole ask me this question. You know Cole Resnick? Yeah, of course. Yeah, so Cole was on here a couple months ago, and he asked me like what I'm doing, or like am I happy with my body? And it was the first time where I actually admitted it out loud, where it's like I've reached like tranquility or like peace. Like I'm actually happy because it's to the point where I can't make that drastic of improvements anymore. Like you've reached like certain limitations in terms of muscle. I'm pretty strong, and like when I take my shirt off and I look in the mirror when I wake up, I actually like what I see. Right. Beautiful. So I think most people are good at not. Most people aren't going to reach that. No. But if it's other than that, and I hope everybody on earth watching this, listening to this, they actually accomplish that and achieve that. But let's be real, they won't. Right. But then in terms of like business or really anything else, like, you should always constantly adapt and constantly improve. And it's the same thing with like working out. Well, right. Yeah. And I think that's where sustainability comes into play, because it's so important that whatever it is you are doing, you're sustainable. Because I've seen people lose, shed freaking 9% body fat in 3-4 months to get cut.
but then you see them a few months later and they like put it on and more because
They joined the Puffy gang.
exactly it's not because it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. No, I have a quote that I really like. It's 1% better every day. Obviously, well, that's not mine. The one that I can't say I made it up, but I like the saying that consistency is better than failure.
Consistency is better,
And because a lot of clients I've worked with over the years, they'll be like, so they'll have this inertia, like initial burst of energy and motivation, and then they'll go from 0 to 60. They'll go for runs. I never tell them to run. I fucking hate running. Whatever. They'll do all this crazy shit for like 2 weeks. They'll lose 20 pounds. Then they'll stop because they lose motivation.
Yeah.
Or like I'll be working with a guy for 3 months, lose 20 pounds, blah, da, 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 da. And then 1 week he'll like do the plan. The next week he won't do shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'd rather you literally be consistently at 50% than like 100% one day and 0% the next day.
Yeah.
It's just better because then you could build up gradually and be consistent over time. You go from 50% to 51% to 52%, et cetera.
And that I feel like that happens so much, especially with fitness goals, is like they're super motivated at first. They're going 110%, and then they're straight back to 0. They're not doing any exercise. They're not caring about their diet, and that happens so often. Like you said, the 1%. There's this like really cool analogy where it's like if two boats are driving or I guess sailing side by side,
swimming,
whatever.
So actually, I want to know the verbiage of that. If two boats were floating,
Well, what do boats do?
they don't drive.
I know there's an answer for this, and we look so stupid.
Wait. Should we? Let's play the Jeopardy theme song. Do 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 do.
What do they do?
What is it called? When boats move?
I'm riding my boat, driving it, sailing.
Wait here, I'm gonna pull this on the fucking screen. When boats, whoa! I don't know if people can hear that.
Motoring.
It's called, okay, so when boats move through the water, it's called sailing if they're powered by winds using sails. If they're propelled by engines, it's often referred to as motoring or cruising. All right, so if two boats are cruising...
So if two boats are cruising and one just changes its trajectory, even even half a degree, even 1 degree, after a while, what happens is they separate, and you'll notice that the one that made that 1 degree, after miles and miles... They could be different parts of the world.
Yeah.
And that's like a really cool thing because domino effects are real in all aspects of life. So you make that change and you kind of go from there.
So do you have any like fitness goals that you're working to now or just like,
yeah. So I'm actually one, I want to get ripped. Who doesn't? The other thing is more performance-based. I'm trying to get more athletic. I'm in a men's league for basketball, and I'm training for Markup Canada for the men's open, which is like a super hard team, but like you got to be really athletic. So my goal right now is I'm trying to increase my vertical jump and my being more explosive.
Yeah.
Which is it's not an easy thing to do.
No, especially when you're like 25, like you're not certain origins.
Yeah, I mean I'm 6'3".
No, like that's good, but like it's not like super tall. I mean, it's not short.
No, it's I have a good foundation.
Yeah. For people of our background, that's like Andre the Giant. Like Jewish people aren't.
Yeah, I'm the
tall.
Jewish Andre the Giant.
Yeah. That's actually that should be your nickname.
Jewish Andre the Giant.
If you were a rapper, that'd be a pretty solid name.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess let's segue to like what you're doing now, or like I mean, granted, we both have businesses.
Yeah.
So I guess talk about your business.
Poolboy Sports.
Yeah, let me pull
the
this
one
up.
and only.
The one and only.
PBS, as we
gotta
call
get rid
it,
of the pop-up
the
banner.
HQ. Yeah, you can get rid of it. So Poolboy Sports. Poolboy Sports is my my baby. My company that I started about 18 months ago, almost 2 years ago. I started it right at the end of COVID, right after the cusp. And then it's basically the idea there. It's luxury pool accessories, which I think is a great niche, and I think it's something that I guess the product category needs. I think people are lacking it that own pools. But yeah, I started this company really to just dive into business, get into it, because I was an employee for so many years, and I needed to get out of that headspace.
That's valid.
Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah, dude, I'm always tense. I'm so bad with talking about my business, but
you gotta get good at it. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, and not just this is like a podcast that's gonna reach maybe 100 people, so it doesn't really matter that much. But like, I don't know, over time, like, what happens if like you had to pitch someone or like,
so I'm pitching people now. Like I'm raising
You are?
money.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
but then how the fuck do you raise capital if you're like, hey, man, like, I think this is good?
like investors. They talk numbers. They don't give a fuck about what you're selling. They just care about the numbers. They just want to make their buck. But look, what happened was this. I wanted to get, first of all, it took years of manifesting to start this endeavor. It wasn't something that just happened. And at the end of COVID, I don't know if you noticed, I'll give you the origin story about how everything actually came into play. Basically, during COVID, interest rates were super low. Everyone was refinancing their homes, and a lot of people were building pools after they would refinance their homes. So interest rates are low, they'd refinance, they'd build a pool. So I'm looking around, I'm like, pools are popping up. And I had friends that have, that spend well over $250,000 building their pool.
Shout out Saul.
Yes, not even small. But like there's people that build like ridiculous looking pools.
Yeah.
Uber rich, and then there's people that that spend 20 to 40K building their pool, and it's a little bit more modest. But you look at these super nice homes and these more modest homes, and one thing they both have in common, they both have the same pool accessories. But you go to any other part of the house, you go to their garage, they don't have the same cars. You go to their bedrooms, they don't have the same mattresses. You go to their kitchens, they don't have the same appliances. But when you come to the pool, they all have the same shit. They all have crappy Chinese, poorly made products. Not to diss China, because actually China produces great stuff. But in this industry, especially, you're looking at the cheap, lower end.
So is this Canadian made?
No, it's actually made in China. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but you got to work with them. Like, China makes really good shit. Oh my god, I'm making myself look awful.
I'm sorry. I'm fucking dying here. Okay, well, we might cut that. We can cut that.
No, it's China.
Shout out to China.
With China, it's a huge spectrum. They're the leading manufacturers in the world,
bro.
But, so they can make anything from really high end things to like drones that can fly over your house.
Yeah, they can make like rip off like Jordans that look like sick, right?
Yeah, it's not even that. It really is, because I can produce my net for I can produce one of these for my cost is like $75. I can produce
for the whole unit.
For how it actually looks just to the naked eye online. I can produce the exact same thing for about $20, $25, but the quality is so
dog shit.
Like it rusts. Like there's so many aspects to it that you don't see beyond just the product. Mm-hmm. And that's the issue with the pool industry when I got into it, is because you go search a pool accessories, they all look good until they come to your house, and then within one season they break.
I was gonna say, you only get a year out of it.
Yeah. So when I started the company, I'm like, what problem am I solving? And the problem was, I want to make high-end pool accessories for everyone, not just for rich people, for people that are looking for, the KitchenAid or the melee of pool accessories, and that's kind of what I was doing here. And yeah.
So, what are some important lessons that you've learned as an entrepreneur? Like, what would you give to other people watching? Because there's probably like 5 people that will watch this that like are also business entrepreneurs.
100%, and actually it relates to fitness as well. It's the same genre, because Solomon, shout out Solly.
Yeah, his episode dropped. I think it was last week. His
was good. Solly's the best.
He's like a jokester.
He taught me a lesson actually once, that is such an important lesson, and I actually translated into business. He goes,
just judo flip everyone.
Yeah, pretty much judo flip the competitors. No, but he goes, listen, it's all about sustainability, and he was talking to me about fitness. So he's like, don't do something that you can't sustain.
That's valid.
So when I started my business, I was like, I don't want to create a product. So many people that want to get into Amazon or they want to get into Shopify, they're looking at what one product can I sell that can make it go viral and sell a bunch of it and make money this year.
Yeah.
But that's not sustainable, because once you're not viral anymore and you only have one product, and all your eggs are in one basket, you're no longer becoming sustainable. And when it comes to a topic like business, the only way you can really be sustainable is if you're growing. So your version of sustainability is growth, right? At least at first. So when I was looking at, I didn't think of the product when I got into this. The first thing I thought about was the industry.
Yeah.
So actually, it was funny. I woke up one morning. My oldest brother was in the garage, and for some reason he was like smoking a joint, and this was like 8 a.m. and he goes, "You want some?" I was like, I was about to go on a bike ride. I was like,
Probably not a good idea.
probably not a good idea, but for some reason I did.
Oh,
I did. It was the best joint I've ever smoked. If I didn't smoke that joint, I think that joint cost maybe like $8.
Okay.
But in hindsight, that joint is literally worth millions. Looking back, but I smoked this joint, and then I'm like standing there, I'm looking around, and then when you're smoking weed, then your head starts. You start to overthink and all this stuff, and your mind's racing. That's when I landed on, why are everybody building pools? Why do they have the same pool accessories? I'm like, wait, that's fully a industry.
it's on tap market.
It's on top market. That's an industry I can get into. And then basketball is just natural because I grew up playing basketball.
Yeah.
I was like, I can make this sick. And then now we're growing and releasing new products. And
See, you're good at talking about your business. You just have to be probed.
I just have to be probed.
You have to be fucking probed.
Yeah.
So I think like what would you say is like the biggest lesson would be like sustainability.
The biggest lesson is whatever you decide to do, make sure there's growth for it. Make sure it's not one product thing.
Yeah.
Because
Well, actually, no. I would say you could have one product, but just make it so it's a high LTV, or you focus on MRR.
well, I suppose, but it really depends. Like for me, it
Depends on the industry.
depends on the industry,
Yeah.
but it also depends on, again, going back to your expectations.
Yeah.
I expect one day, to have a family, to have a really big business. You can't, you can't do that with one product. You can, but it's very rare.
really
You-
difficult.
You need money coming in from different.
Well, unless that
places.
one product is like, I don't know, like $100 a month, and then you have
Yeah.
reoccurring MRR, like you have
Yeah.
monthly reoccurring revenue, but that's rare.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many like microtransactions on apps. They just, or like fitness apps. They just get
Yeah.
someone signed up for $50. They have whatever 1,000 people. That's 50. I can't do math. Whatever. That's $5,000, right? Right. 50 times 1,000.
Yeah. And actually, it's so funny because when I meet people, sometimes even investors, they'll be like, "So, how did you come up with this?" And the
Yeah.
first thing I say is, "Well, I smoked a joint."
Oh God.
And it's so funny, and it's such a good icebreaker, and they always laugh, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
No, that is valid though, because like you're just being truthful.
No, yeah, it is truthful, and they'll either laugh and be intrigued, or they'll be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" To which I'll be like,
I
"Fuck
don't.
you."
Yeah,
like,
you're not gonna gel anyways.
yeah, like I don't fuck you. You don't like if you don't get that,
Yeah.
then you're not part of the company. You don't get
100%.
it because we're cool, we're fun, we sell fun at the end of the day.
That's valid. That's valid. So you're gonna come out with like the 420 version of the Poolboy. You're gonna
Yeah.
get Snoop Dogg on here.
Yeah, we're actually gonna come out with another 2 basketball nets for the pool. Believe it or
You
not.
should get like different skins.
Yeah, we're doing a USA colorway. It's gonna be fucking.
Oh, that's actually
lit.
dope. Yeah, you should drop it on like just 5th of what is it, 4th of July or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, back to the device. From that was more of like a spiritual advice. Like make sure you have something that can grow. From like a numbers, like getting down to the numbers. You want to have a high markup on your landed cost. For those of you who don't know, the landed cost is your cost of producing one product plus the cost of shipping it to your warehouse or wherever you're storing it. That's your landed cost getting it there. You want to mark that up by 400 to 700%, and then sell it.
100%.
Well, because you need money to.
No, I know you need to like run it. You need employees. You need rent.
Yeah,
you need advertisements. All this.
And
shit.
you want to get fucking paid, right?
Yeah, that's
Otherwise, why are we doing any of this shit?
700% though. That's crazy.
Up to 700%, but you'd be surprised. Like we buy ours for land at 75, and we sell it for 400 US. So like,
That's
like
not. That's not 700%.
No,
that's like 4.
It's like 450.
Yeah, I would say that's
about.
about average compared to what I see on like Shark Tank. That's like 700%. I'm just like comparing, but I guess it depends on the item because if it's like I don't know, like a low ticket thing where it's like a T-shirt, right? Then that's a bit different.
Yeah, then you need to do a lot of volume.
Yeah. So what's the biggest challenge that you've had with like business?
Biggest challenges are actually the challenges that you haven't noticed until you get bit in the ass from them. So like you do something that you didn't think of, and then it comes back to haunt you. For example, when we did our first test run, I ordered it. I didn't tell the supplier to use stainless steel bolts.
Oh.
So the first 400 that we ordered for a soft launch, all the bolts rusted within a week.
Oh.
Which is fucking disastrous.
That's not good.
And then I go back to them, like, listen, you gotta do stainless steel bolts. They go, no problem. We order a shipment. What happens? They didn't include stainless steel washers that go in between the bolts.
Oh.
So with China, people need to know when you're working with China,
Yeah.
you got to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
They will not connect the dots for you. They don't have the same
English.
mindset. It's not even English. They don't have the same mindset of quality that Westerners do. They just want cheap, get it out as quick as possible. So if you're not telling them even the littlest things, like...
Yeah, but I guess that's growing pains. You don't know that.
It is growing pains. So I think the biggest issue for me is growing pains, and growing pains can cost you nothing, or it can cost
you
you
a shit ton.
Hundreds of thousands.
Do you have a business coach or a business mentor?
Do I have a business mentor? Look, I've observed a lot from a lot of friends growing up and what their parents were doing, and you kind of learn these lessons. But I don't have a mentor, but I do have people that I go to for different areas of the business, whether it's accounting or managing the business's finances. I have a guy for that.
Yeah.
I have a guy for like culture, like what vibes are we giving the brand, and it's more so we just kind of bounce ideas off each other, but I wouldn't say I really have a mentor now.
No, the only reason I ask is because, like, for me, like, I've had coaches that I've hired and, like, they've helped solve issues that I would have run into myself, but because they were coaches before and they went through the bullshit themselves, and I'm just paying for knowledge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not essential for every person, but you have resources. A lot of people that don't have any resources or people to ask, then it would be beneficial for them to have a coach. Whether it's fucking
I will say there was someone that paved the way for sure.
Yeah.
And Aaron Spivak, which is Mikey's older brother, he was the first one really doing this e-commerce shit.
Yeah.
And he's a really great guy, and he gives really good advice, and he's paved the way, and he kind of showed what's possible. So definitely huge shout out to him, because he definitely paved the way for a lot of young e-commerce entrepreneurs.
So anything you hate about running a business?
Do I anything I hate? At the end of the day, I hate. Look, when it's going well, it's fucking
going
awesome.
well. Yeah.
When it's bad, you feel like you have a freaking weight on your shoulder. So the stress can be overbearing. That's why you don't want to set yourself up for failure. But I would say the only thing is, you're challenging yourself in all regards, because to run a business, you got to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And no one's really a jack of all trades. Like, I'm not good at math, so now I have to figure out all this finance shit for myself.
I'm not good at like communications. Like in an ideal world.
You're a host of a podcast.
No. I'm good at talking. I'm not good at separating I am like everything, right? So accountant, like coach, whatever. And when it comes to like severance, or like, what's the word? If I had like a client success manager, if I had like, not even a secretary, that's the wrong word, but if I had like, I don't know, someone to like complain to, that would be easier than the people coming to me, because I just get everything, right? And so I'm not necessarily the great at like diffusing situations. Instead, I probably just escalate it.
Yeah.
But that's probably my biggest issue. But I think it's like I told you earlier, like life or even business, it's like a stripper's booty. It goes up and down a lot, right?
Sure. It goes up and down.
Very frequently too. It's like, I don't know, man. Like I don't think people realize how difficult it is to operate a business, and I also don't think people realize like after like the statistics behind it. Like after the first year, 90% of businesses are done. And then, like, by the third year, like there's only, like, 3% of people left that have their businesses still operating, because they either run out of money, like, momentum, hope, desire, or they go broke.
Yeah.
Right? It is so fucking difficult. And it doesn't matter what type of business, but, I mean, it is technically a little bit easier if we're not brick and mortar, if we're, like, doing it either online, or for in your case, like, this isn't necessarily drop shipping. No. This is, like, you have your own shit. Drop shipping is more so, like, yeah, okay, so then that's different. That's not the right terminology.
People have approached me to drop ship our product. And when I was in the States, I was just in Vegas for a week. I searched up my company.
Yeah.
Because we only operate in the U.S. I only sell in the U.S.
Oh, you don't sell in Canada?
No.
Interesting.
Because Canada's a very small market. We have very short summers.
Yeah.
In the U.S., it's much bigger.
Well, you got like places that actually have like not winter.
Yeah, so I go and I Google my company, right, to see kind of what kind of movement we have going in Vegas, and you got fucking people buying our net and selling it. Like, there's a guy that bought like 10 of our nets, opened up an Amazon store in Australia, and is now reselling our hoops for like $1,000.
Wait, can't you just like copy and sue him?
So we send him a cease and desist.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. And then, but through Amazon, so he's getting kicked out, and he's blacklisted from Amazon. Now, we also saw people selling our shit on AliExpress.
What?
Yeah, you can find us on AliExpress. So then now I have to reach out to my lawyer. Now we have to get that taken down, because if someone buys that on AliExpress and it's a piece of shit, there's no way they're actually getting my product.
Yeah. So people just basically took your photos off your website.
Yeah, but then they'll send them a piece of shit product. If they come to me and say, hey, why you guys aren't aware of,
Yeah.
this isn't what I bought. That causes trouble for us. We have to make sure they stop it. Even when it comes to the legalities, every move you make is cost money. So,
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
so that's fact.
Lawyers are the one people that like they sneeze, they make money.
Yeah.
Bro, they charge like $500 an hour. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, ChatGPT is like getting to the point where you don't need a lawyer for a lot of stuff. You need a lawyer for like certain stuff, but maybe cease and desist is a bit different. But like,
Well, how it works is that you get your legal team to contact their in-house legal team.
if they have one.
If they have one, but if they don't, or you can just, I mean, I've sent some pretty aggressive emails to some CEOs saying, hey, listen, if you're gonna hit the king, you better kill the king. And
You best not miss.
you best not miss. And we're coming at, like, even our competitors, so many came out to copy us.
Yeah.
And we're taking them
Well,
out.
that's not surprising because you found a blue ocean, and when you find a blue ocean, and anybody doesn't know what like a blue ocean is in like terms of business or marketing, it's just like basically like an untapped sea.
It's an untapped sea.
So you found a blue ocean, then yeah, no shit, people are gonna copy you. Uber came out, and then like what, 6 months later, Lyft came out.
Exactly.
Right.
So, but I'm confident they're gonna be obsolete. No way they're doing the stuff we're doing on the back end. Like, that's just the truth.
And I imagine like you're running ads and shit.
Yeah, dude, we were spending about, in the summer, because we're seasonal, we're spending about 150,000 US a month on ads.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, we did that in June.
But
But it gave us a crazy
obviously-
return.
Yeah, probably what, like a 10x, 11x, or is this like too confidential?
It's still confidential.
No, that's fine. I'm just curious. Personally, I was just curious because like
Yeah.
I run ads myself, but like I'll be lucky. No, it depends on.
Usually it's about a 4 or 5x.
Then that's fucking tastic.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I try to get as well. I'm just not. There's no way I'm making. I was spending 150 grand on a month for ads. That's like my entire like. That's like two. I don't even know how many years of that would be. That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
But granted, business versus like I'm just one guy. I'm just Puff.
What's that?
What's that song?
I'm just fuck that. I'm just Ken.
I'm just Ken. Yeah, from Barbie. I'm just Puff. So where's the future of Poolboy? Like going into Toys R Us is Canadian, I think. I don't know. Walmart, Target, like Target.
We're gonna close out Amazon, because in our category there's certain products you want to release to close out the
Closeout means like you're not going to sell on Amazon?
No, close out as in, like, in my category on Amazon, like the pool space is a big space. There's pool supplies, there's pool like stuff for like cleaning the pool, there's pool floaties, that's a category.
Yeah.
Then there's pool volleyball and basketball nets, that's its category. So, not many people realize this, but there's people that are only comfortable paying $150, $200 for a basketball net for their pool. There's people comfortable paying $400, and there's people comfortable paying $800.
Yeah.
So we only have a $400 one. So what we're doing is we're coming out with 2 new hoops, an expensive one and a cheap one.
Okay.
And then a volleyball net as well. That's
Sick.
going to double as a pickleball.
Why not do they can do Affirm through Amazon though.
But
Like, do you know what Affirm is?
oh yeah, like the payment plan.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about people buying it or not. I'm more concerned with how are we going to show up as the people for pool accessories. Like,
Yeah, like
the vision is essentially the Cadillac of pool accessories. And we've seen some success. Like, we've had some pretty cool people in the US buy our shit, like some celebrities. So that was like awesome.
Did they market it?
Jason Tatum, after he won gold,
Yeah.
posted a video of him with his son in the pool shooting pool hoops.
Holy shit.
And then he didn't tag us, but he was just like playing with his son, and that was such a full circle moment, because
That's sick.
that's kind of why I started the business, like make people enjoy their time in the pool. And I think like 10, 15 different people DM'd me, sending me Jason Tatum's story. And I'm like, holy shit, this is lit. So then I'm like, I need to chase this. I need to chase these like bigger guys. So that's the next step. But yeah, that was fucking sick.
Well, yeah, that's like one of the easiest ways to do marketing. You get other people to market it for you, especially if they have your product already. Like, fuck, just like, I mean, if it's Jason Tatum, good luck with that. He makes like $50 million a year. There's nothing you can do to intend.
I actually bought a Boston hat.
Yeah,
I was in the airport and I see a Boston hat, so I bought it just because I was like,
you gotta support it.
I was like, yeah, just scratch my back. I scratch it.
Totally.
I would have gone the Tatum jersey, but it was like $200. I was like, no.
No, that's too much, bro. He doesn't even get. I don't even think he gets commission off of that.
No. But yeah, it was sick to see that, and just be the Cadillac of pool accessories. Be the go-to guys.
So speaking, I guess because this is the Halloween episode, do you have any like funny memories about Halloween? Like when
Too many, can't have. The craziest stories are Halloween. Last year, what was last year? Was it last year? Honestly, I can't even.
I have boring ass memories for Halloween.
Really?
I was fat. I just ran out of steam. I would go for walking for 30 minutes of candy. I'd be like dead ass tired.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I think the last year I went trick-or-treating was grade 7 or 8 maybe. Grade 7 or 8. And everyone that year was Gangnam Style.
Oh, shit.
So I go down the street. You got 100 kids all in Gangnam Style. And I was like a tall kid. And I'm in a suit, right? Because you wear a suit. So I go trick-or-treating. And they're like, aren't you a little old for this?
That's funny.
And then that was my send-off. Well, most Halloweens I don't even remember anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for Saturday. We're going to Daniel Goldstein.
I do.
Yeah,
Waterloo?
he was at Rosedale. He's we're going to Waterloo. He's doing a Halloween party.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun time. I'm making a punch.
No way.
I
Was you doing a full on banger?
I don't know. I know there was like the normal group that were there. I don't know how many people are gonna be there.
Yeah.
I rented an Airbnb like 3 minutes away from where it's gonna be.
Smart.
Well, because you don't drink and drive, people. No. And also like I don't want to.
Don't drink and swim either. Unless you're having a pool party.
Unless you're having a pool party, then come on. I just don't swim. Just like stand in the shallow end, and don't spill your drink in the pool because like it's a bitch to clean that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what else is left. Anything you want to mention? Anything? Any questions for me?
Yeah. You tell me about your journey. What got you into podcasting?
Do you want to know like the corporate answer?
No offense. You were like, when I saw you like a year ago or a few months ago for the first time after not seeing you.
We saw each other at Saul's place. I think it was like February.
Yeah, and you were unrecognizable because you were like, no offense, you were like big at one point.
I was, dude.
To the point where it was like almost like you're like that was like it for you. I thought it was like, you know.
But you didn't even see me at peak Puffy, bro. You saw me.
So, no.
I think you saw me grade 8.
Were you in Westmount in grade 10?
Okay, so we're the same like born year. So the very quick story of that was when I went to Rosedale, I got suspended a bunch of times to the point where they told me to go to like behavioral school. They wouldn't let me go to Westmount right away.
Yeah.
So then I was a year alone by myself at this like behavioral school. And then when I came back, I was a year behind in terms of education. So I went to Westmount for like 6 months.
Yeah.
But I was with the kids born in 2000, not with 99.
Right.
And then like after 6 months, like it just behavioral issues continued, and then they basically put me in an alt ed program, which is alternative education. So I went to Promenade at the top floor.
Yeah.
And they gave me credits
With
for
the
getting
Russians.
No Russians. There was 3 people. I don't want to name their names, but you would probably know the 2 other people that were there. But I just basically went for math and English, and then they gave me credits for getting a job. I think it was designed for people that are pregnant, honestly. Like, no, I'm serious. Like they needed to get a job, but you can't like not get a GED. You can't not like get a high school thing. And so I would literally go to school like 4 hours a week, and then the rest I worked at the chocolate store at the Promenade, the Rocky Mountain.
Wow.
But that was really unhealthy because about 12 hours a day I was playing video games.
And eating chocolate.
Honestly, I didn't even like most of the stuff they sold there at that time. Thank God. I would have been a diabetic. But yeah, then I reached 370.
Wow. Whoa.
That was the biggest.
Wow, that's huge. For a second, I thought you were like 270. I'm like, okay, I've gone close to there, but like 370. Whoa.
You're also 6'3", but still, yeah. I the biggest weight I ever saw on a scale was 370. I probably pushed 380 at one point, but that was the biggest one I saw.
Did you have a moment where you look at the scale and you're like, this is just ridiculous, I need to make a change?
It wasn't the scale. It was more so the one morning I woke up and like I literally couldn't see my dick in the mirror. And I say that both like because I find it funny, but also dead serious. Like it was like to the point where like my stomach was like
over.
Yeah, I was like Peter Griffin in real life.
Fucked.
And I was like, it's just like it was a come to Jesus type of moment where it's like, dude, like what the fuck is like this life, right? I was playing video games like 12, 16 hours a day. I really had no light at the end of the tunnel. I tried killing myself twice before that. It was a really dark time.
Yeah.
And honestly, like it was kind of an understandable like suicide attempt because like I had no social life. I had nobody that cared about me other than like my dad. I was like, yeah, okay, I had a dad. Like,
yeah.
No, I don't need like the sympathy, but like it was a dark time. And
for sure.
Anyways, then then I lost all the weight, and here we are.
Yeah.
Well, you asked in terms of like what got me into podcasting. What got me into podcasting was honestly, there's a lot of reasons. Number one would be like networking / like connection with a bunch of people that I haven't like. I had a bunch of people on the podcast that I've messaged and seen or talked to for like the last years of my life, but I've never seen in person. And so it wasn't until like I asked him to come on a podcast. We actually met in person for the first time.
Yeah.
Right. So that was pretty cool. So the connection also, it helps with like social media, right? In terms of like a business aspect, like there's the Google rule. There's like, what is it? Like the Google rule of 7. But now it's kind of more than that. But like, so you need 7 hours of content. A customer should consume 7 hours of content over 7 touch points to like, know you and trust you and buy from you. But now it's probably closer to 11. But that helps, right?
Yeah.
Someone's listening to me talk for an hour or whatever. They're watching you. That's why all these like top business guys, they're all doing YouTube now.
Yeah.
It's kind of nauseating because like, fuck off. Like you don't, like you're making $1 billion. Like these Dragon Den people are like, I don't know. I
was supposed to go on Dragon's Den actually.
You were?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I actually have.
But how? You don't sell in Canada?
Well, because I needed the money. I needed to raise money.
Yeah.
And they were filming in March, and I got added to the show, and they're like, "Hey, you're shooting Friday. Come down." It was like March, it was like end of March or something, and I ended up raising the money I needed that week through a silent investor. So then, so that's the whole thing. Like you go on Dragon's Den for the marketing, but we don't market to Canadians.
Yeah. So then why would
no one in the U.S. watches Dragon's Den? So there's no point.
Yeah, what was the point?
So the producer calls me. I forget her name. She goes, "You're on. You're coming Friday. Come between this window, 8 to 11 a.m." And I'm like, "I can't do it." She goes, "Why not?" I'm like, "I don't market to Canadians. There's no point in me going on the show. I raised the money I needed to raise without giving up equity, which is really cool. And I really just don't see a point. Do you need any more reasons?" She goes, "Okay," and she hangs up on me.
No, that's valid. Well, she was cheese. That's her job, right? And now she's got to tell all these rich people to wait 2 hours.
No respect.
No, but that's understandable. I mean, I don't even know if you would have gotten a deal. You probably would have gotten a deal based off of like margins or whatever. But
I think if I wanted a deal, I would have gotten one. The truth is, I didn't really want to give up equity because I still own 100%.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm doing my second raise right now. I'm raising a ton. I'm trying to still hold 100% equity.
I don't know how that's possible. How is that possible?
You do it through loans. So you get an investor that will give you a loan, and in exchange, you give them a royalty to a certain amount. But the only way you can do that is if you're profitable.
Yeah.
So we're profitable. So that's kind of like where I'm working towards so we can launch these products because the whole idea is if I do give up equity in the next round, the company will be worth 4 times what it's worth now, and I can actually make some money off of it.
Well, and then eventually, do you plan on keeping it or exiting and then going into a different business or who knows?
The truth is, you got people putting other people on Mars. You got people creating spaceships. You got people creating just really cool, revolutionary things that can change the world. Do I think in my end all be all, do I want to be known for pool accessories? Not really. So if I do sell, it would be in the name of creating something bigger and better.
No, but that's valid.
Yeah, for sure. But until then, it's fun as fuck. Our shoots, when we do content, it's a pool party. I'll get my videographer. We'll do a 3-day shoot. Bring friends. Bring videographers. They're literally playing a game in the pool. Alcohol is outside of the frames, but behind the scenes, there's music blasting. We're drinking, so it's really fun way to spend a content day. So. I'm very grateful for that. The space itself, I didn't realize how fun that space actually can be. So yeah.
Well, we can wrap this up, but I guess to quote,
I actually have a question for you. No, because one thing, because I've been asked to do I think I got asked to do 3 different podcasts this year, and every single one I'm like, no. But one thing that intrigued me was I love the Westbound camaraderie. I love how you got all the Westbound boys.
Unintentionally, but I'm friends with them, right? So. The only person left in my Rolodex, Alessio needs to come on, but you
should do Ethan.
Kleiman?
Yeah.
I asked him. He won't do it.
He won't do it?
He won't do it. He was one of the first people I asked.
Classic Ethan.
I could clip this and we could send it to him, but he won't do it. Because I was like, bro, you have the music and the training. It's whatever. It's a good combination.
Yeah, he kills it too.
Bro, that fucking guy's an Abercrombie and Finch model.
That guy's had an 8-pack since he was
fucking 3.
6 years old.
And his brother, same thing. Bro, those are genetic specimens.
Their whole family are big on that stuff. And EK's super talented, and people don't really know the degree of the stuff he's doing with music behind the scene because he doesn't present himself as an artist, but he's doing some crazy stuff.
Speedback I would like to get on. I have asked. I'm still waiting.
Do a group thing. That'll be fun.
Multiple people on the pod?
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know how to set that. I can ask my guy. We could probably put two here and two here.
Mikey would have would be good too. He's doing some amazing stuff over there with culture.
Yeah, so the only issue, bro, is like I don't get that much reach with my audience. Like, I mean, I'm basically averaging like 100 views of a podcast. It's more so like, for example, I had Shy on the podcast, and like I knew it would be good for him because he doesn't post anything on social media.
Yeah.
So we took like the pod and I clipped up like 20 things for him. So now he has like 2 months worth of content to post.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, but like, so yeah, why me? Or it's just because of the Westmount thing?
It was. I just liked. I just thought it was cool. Yeah. I liked, and I also liked that it was like. I liked the style of it. It was a lot more chill.
Yeah.
Than other podcasts where they kind of get way too into shit that no one cares about. But like, this is like you're hearing real stories, from real people, and like everyone has something to say, So I thought it was cool. And the Westmount thing was really cool. I'm like, you know what? I like this. I like that all the homies are on the podcast.
I was talking to Kofsky. Remember Ryan Kofsky?
Yeah.
I trained him like 2 years ago. We didn't keep in contact because I think he changed numbers and I don't have his new number.
Yeah.
But I had this idea because I was training him and then I trained what was his name? Ethan, I think Viner. Because they were close. But anyways, I thought of doing like at the time I wanted to do like a quarter life reunion for Rosedale because I don't know, Westmount would not be impossible, but there's just a lot of people. That would be like, I don't know, like 90 people or some shit like that.
I personally don't really care to see so many people from high school.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because most of my close friends now, genuinely, like, I wasn't close with them when I was like peak Puffy. That was just because I didn't go to high school. But like Alessio, Shy, Saul, we all went to Rosedale.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it would be really cool to connect with like the other, 10 other people that I haven't really seen before. Or not just me, but like they've said the same thing. But I mean, like, I don't even have my Rosedale yearbook. The only thing I remember was I was voted most likely to be a comedian.
Yeah, I actually do remember that. Yeah.
I was voted for grade 8 to be most likely to be a comedian, which, I mean, honestly, at the time, that's not that far off. Like, I'm a pretty funny guy, but, like, I try to write material, and it's really bad. And then, like, I've tried to do, like, a freestyle routine, and it's like, I would just get canceled, bro. like, it's just like,
honestly, dangerous game.
Well, especially as a business owner, bro, it's not worth the risk. Like, I'm just not, like, bro, that is such a, no.
Yeah. My approach with that, with being a business owner, is I'm very much myself, and I'll never put myself in a situation where I can't be myself. That's why I got out of the corporate world. I like suits. I look good in a suit. I wear a suit.
A ghillie suit.
But I'm not trying to go to work every day and wear a suit because some guy's telling me to put on a suit. That's not me. So even you look at my LinkedIn, actually, probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but you look at my profile picture on LinkedIn, and I'm literally I'm on shrooms in the photo.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, it was at a cottage.
Oh man, I gotta search this up. Hold on, Kfir Gal. Let's see if I can find this. I think I got it. Is this it?
Yeah, right there. So,
boom. Yeah, you look high as fuck.
Yeah, like if you like zoom it, like I'm not on too many shrooms, but when someone took that picture, they're like, Kfir, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm good.
Wait, I have to add a note to my invitation. Send without a note. You know who I am.
I know you are.
My photo is AI as fuck, though.
That's sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole LinkedIn thing, everyone's like, yo, your LinkedIn should be better. You're a businessman. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't see the correlation. Like, I'm not asking anything of anybody. I'm representing a company that represents fun. So it's like
yeah, you gotta be chill.
But yeah.
Okay, so I like to normally end all the episodes with like, I guess, top 3 pieces of advice. Either for business, for health, whatever. Like, I like doing the podcast because you can honestly provide a lot of information, and as for a lot of people that do end up watching this, is more for motivation than anything else. So I'll just leave it at that. Like, whatever top 3 pieces of advice in life and fitness and health and business you want to give, just like wing it.
Yeah, I would say the top 3 would be, know what you want from yourself, identify what you want from yourself, and more importantly, what you don't want from yourself. Get that down. Second, I think environment's really important. If you're not in an environment that you feel like you're being your best self, and that can be like whether it's the job you're at or where you live or, the people you're around, you really try to avoiding that. So know what's good for you and what's not. And the third thing is, this is actually pretty cool. I really utilize ChatGPT, like, to a crazy degree. Like, I'll ask it the most weirdest shit that actually helps. Like, even if for like my business, I'm like, okay, how do I scale Amazon without infringing copyright laws into other products I already have, but maintain it, like some really intricate question, and it gives you a really solid answer. So use ChatGPT for getting to business.
Use your resources wisely.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not a bad idea. I guess it depends what industry you're in. Like, I mean, if you're a coach watching this, like, don't use fucking ChatGPT. Yeah. Oh, I've tried. It's terrible. It's not at that level. But for something like that, that would make sense.
Yeah, just generic questions. And you know what? Last thing is, is Siri ever going to have AI?
Yeah.
Because it used to be so cool, Siri now is
that's terrible.
She's
but
like
no,
an idiot.
they're I don't know, they're working on that shit, I think.
Let's go. I want
what I
Siri,
need more
bro.
than anything, dude? I need Apple to come out with double the speed on voice messages when you're sending an iPhone message. How the fuck have they not had that yet?
Yeah, like
they have it on WhatsApp. They have it on WhatsApp because I got buddies that send me like 10-minute fucking like whatever, and I can listen on 2 times the speed.
Yeah.
I listen to everything on 2 times the speed. So I can't stand it when someone sends me an iPhone voice message and I can't listen to 2 times the speed. So fix your shit, Steve Jobs. Well, he's dead, but like whatever his name is. Okay, so to quote Sean Evans from Hot Ones, we have this camera, and this camera. Let the people know what you got going on.
What going on?
Do you ever watch Hot Ones, like the chicken wing show?
Yeah, but I don't watch till the end.
Okay, the end is basically like he lets the guests. He's like, we got this camera. Let the people know what you got going on, and then they'll like plug their movie or they'll plug their like whatever they're on for. Oh. So just like you'd be like,
any camera?
Well, that's your like yeah.
Poolboy Sports coming to a pool near you.
All right, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, do the algorithm stuff. I'm not going to bore you with that. Just like, especially on YouTube, subscribe for more. There's a podcast that's going to be dropped pretty much every week for the rest of the I got enough for the next year, and then I don't know after that, but we'll see. If you like this, subscribe, like it, and then it'll tell me if there's anything you took away from it. Drop a comment below because it helps with the algorithm. Support Kfir. I'll drop all his social stuff below with the Poolboy and your personal and the Poolboy website, and then I guess thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.
See ya.
I'm gonna stop.